super speedway in Alabama. At 2.66 miles in length, it is the longest track on the Nextel Cup circuit. Today, it is the host for race number 3 in the chase for the championship. Here, the distance from first to 41st is about half a heartbeat, and the margin for error is fingernail thin. Hold on tight, everybody. This could be big, because at Talladega, size does matter. Jeff Gordon with a 1-point lead. Earnhardt has 4 wins and 2 second-place finishes in his last 6 races at this track. Johnson and Martin tied for 4th. Sadler finished 20th last Sunday. Kenseth was 32nd. Newman comes in off the win. Stewart and Mayfield with work to do. Jamie McMurray leads the race for 11th. It's just 131 points back to former Talladega winner Dale Jarrett.
Take a look at the top 10, the chasers for the Nextel Cup. All of them have potential drafting help in the partners, their teammates. 2 cars together are faster than 1 on a super speedway, and every chase contender has at least 1 teammate he hopes will work with him.
Take a look at the starting grid. 188 laps around this 2.66 mile track. Front row Joe alongside the veteran Ricky Rudd. You see the drivers, their car numbers, and of course their crew chiefs also listed below them. In row 2, Dale Jarrett, former winner here, and Scott Riggs with an outstanding qualifying run.
On the inside of row 3, Jeff Gordon going for 3 straight restrictor plate wins. Elliott Sadler, last year's pole winner on the outside.
Matt Kenseth, the defending series champion, and Kurt Busch share row 4.
Back in row 5, it's Jeremy Mayfield and Dale Earnhardt Jr., the favorite for the victory here today.
Hermie Sadler is basically in a Yates car, isn't he, VP?
Yes, he is, and tickled to death.
Looking forward to a good run. Jeff Burton and Michael Waltrip looking for his first win since this race 1 year ago.
Inside of row 8, Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson, teammate to Jeff Gordon on the outside.
The field starts to roll off here at Talladega. Mark Martin and Jeff Green make up row 9. And back there in row 10, you'll find Ryan Newman, last week's winner, and Ricky Craven. Now, BP, you got a radio over there? You want to talk to somebody today?
I sure do. I want to try to talk to Jamie McMurray. He's starting back in the 24th position. Hey, Jamie, Benny Parsons up in the booth. You got me?
10-4, loud and clear.
All right, Jamie, you're starting 24th in a Dodge. I just looked it up. Dodge hasn't won a race here since 1976. Can you do something about that today?
We've been on a really good run the last 6 or 7 races, and haven't really changed anything on this car all weekend. It's been pretty good. This place is just all about, getting in the right line and having some friends at the end. So hopefully got a cool paint team this weekend, and it sure would be nice to break that streak.
I was going to say, those folks in Alabama love that paint job.
They said they like Auburn football, and all used to be big Davey Allison fans, so it's pretty cool to get to be the guy in this car this weekend.
Good luck, Jamie.
10-4.
And that paint scheme is the one Davey Allison used in the 1990 season in the Nextel Cup Series.
Davey Allison from Hueytown, Alabama, about 50, 60 miles from here.
Kenny Wallace, driving a DEI entry, starts shotgun on the field. Kevin LePage, Carl Long, and Kirk Shelmerdine failed to qualify for today's race, and moving to the back of the pack, Carl Edwards, because he was not here for qualifying because he was getting ready for the truck race in Fontana. 43 cars, 143,000 seats here at Talladega, and of course, a jam-packed infield. Fans everywhere. Beautiful day, sun is shining, temperature about 80 degrees. Palms are sweaty, knees are knocking, and that's just me.
And there's no start-finish line there, folks. No, it's way on down towards turn 1.
And look at them side by side, because they're not going to be side by side, just too wide. They're going to be 3 and 4 wide here real quick.
And the green flag is out at Talladega. Joe Nemechek leads the field across the line.
It takes about a lap and a half to get these things fully up to speed. Some of these cars, you can see, obviously got a better start, depending on how they're geared, than some of these other guys. But here they'll start fanning out, going 3 and 4 wide.
Let us see Kurt Busch on the outside. I'm sorry, that's Ricky Rudd.
Right.
Ricky Rudd on the outside pole center. And look at Scott Riggs go to the high side. 3 wide through 3 and 4.
He's a rookie. Riggs is in that 10 car on the left-hand side of your screen. Nemechek still leads.
4 wide back there, about the middle of the pack. off of 4.
Oh, here we go.
Through the tri-oval, then coming toward the start-finish line right there. Nemechek leads lap 1.
You have to be so precise right now, especially these guys in the middle. They can't make a mistake. You got to be completely aware of what's all around you, because just one wrong move right here can take out most of the field.
The ticker at the top of the screen, those names in yellow and black, your 10 drivers in the chase for the next Cup. Riggs in the middle.
Elliott Sadler's got him a really good spot, way up on the outside, 3 wide. He looked like second going in turn 3, looked like he's going to be about 5th or 6th off turn 4.
Here comes Riggs. And I would think, especially early on, that this middle line would be the best line, because fresh tires, your car's going to handle real well right now in the middle. But that'll change after you get some wear on these tires.
Dave Burns, Scott Riggs leads at Talladega.
I talked to Scott early today holding his son Lane, and he told me, I'm so excited to run Talladega today with this fast race car. Talked to Tony Stewart about who to follow. Stewart said the guys who have won the last few races here from DEI, but right now, Riggs is learning how to do it out front.
Yep, let him follow you. Hell no, now he's got to follow 38 car, Elliott Sadler. And this is going to happen all day long. We're going to see a lot of changes like this.
Now there's finally Kurt Busch on the outside, trying to take the lead in the 97 car, followed by the 8, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Matt.
Spotters are so important, especially here at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. told his spotter, Steve Neal, before the green, one thing today, don't leave me with any guesses. If you can't, if you're not sure, then just tell me someone's there. You cannot talk too much today. Tell me everything.
No question, man. Very, very tight quarters here. A lot of guys want a lot of mirrors. Some of them don't. But although the spotter is very important to you, you still have to feel where these guys are at. And you can actually feel where the cars are at. You can feel the wind at different places of the car. You got to be perfect when you get in line.
Jimmy Johnson told me this morning in the garage area that you spend about 90% of your time looking in the mirror, looking behind you, about 5% or 10% looking ahead. That's probably an exaggeration, but I think I'm trying to make a point. You keep trying to figure out who's behind you, who's beside of you.
And not only that, but if you see a guy making a run, say in the line up on the high side, you want to jump out in front of that guy, and he will push you to the front. So yeah, mirror driving is very, very important here at Talladega.
A sea of red cheering Dale Earnhardt Jr., the leader, but 2 cars behind him, his teammate, the 15 of Michael Waltrip. That's what everybody on the track, everybody along pit road.
Boy, that McMurray really had a moment there in the 42 car. They were just about 4 wide. He bobbled a little bit, but they all got through it.
The 15 of Waltrip and the 97, there's the 42 getting the push. And he went around in practice here yesterday. McMurray did.
He spun out going in turn 3 yesterday. And yes, the 30 car, yes, folks, he was pushing the 42 at 190 miles per hour.
What we call the bump draft. You'll see a lot of that at this racetrack. You just want to make sure you're doing it when the cars are straight. Don't want to even do it in the tri-oval, because you can turn a guy around real easy.
Marty, more on the 42, please.
And because of that bump draft, Bill, that Wally was talking about, the 42 car, Jamie McMurray, has extra bars in the rear of it and extra bars in the front of it. There are more bars and plates in that 42 car than they have in a Bristol car, because they'll know they'll get pushed, and they will push other cars during the day-to-day.
And you see the 42's got a teammate, and he's hoping he'll use that rear bumper, and Sterling Marlin in the 40 car. You want to get pushed. You want to get pushed by your teammate especially.
More on the leader of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt.
Bill, some fans at home may have been wondering, was that indeed Junior giving a thumbs up to the flagman Rodney Wise? And it was. There was actually a bet. Rodney bet Junior that he wouldn't be in the lead by lap 4. As he came down to the start-finish line, the complete lap 4, he says, what lap is this? He said, you've got the bet. Keep going.
And he has now led the last 11 restrictor plate races, Dale Earnhardt Jr. He is tough at these tracks.
2 cars back behind his teammate, Michael Waltrip, in that 15 car. You get those 2 guys together, and the rest of the field is in trouble.
Elliott Sadler's not going to let him do that, though. At least he's going to try not to.
Try not to.
And we see the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, followed by Tony Stewart, the orange car, the 20 car. Jeff Burton, those guys trying to take the high line. How about Marty?
Moving smartly to the front, VP started 30th, currently up to the top 10 is Tony Stewart. He told me right before he got in the car, this car will draft very well, but the one thing it cannot do is pull other cars. I don't like it out front, but I like to push people, and he's pushing Jimmy Johnson right now.
Who is he ever? I tell you what, they're going someplace too on that high side.
And you see just that little push that Tony Stewart gave Jimmy Johnson 48 car really shot him up the racetrack. He passed a couple of cars there.
Michael Waltrip thought about going up and getting in front of the 48 and trying to take it high line, but he decided against it. Matt.
BP, he's trying to get up there and help the 8 car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. can't quite make it there yet. All quiet on Michael's radio, but Slugger Labby told me during final practice they changed everything and they got a little more oomph, but they felt like should really help him in the draft, trying to make up some room on some other cars.
Tony Uri Sr., the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr., told me in the garage this morning that those 3 drivers, Earnhardt Jr., Waltrip, and Kenny Wallace, met yesterday afternoon and came up with a plan, and the Junior's car is geared to lead, and the 15 and the one of Kenny Wallace are geared to push. That they came up with that. Actually, Michael went to Earnhardt Jr. during the week to talk about a race plan here at Talladega, so we'll see how that works out.
It's a good thing that they had a plan, because up at Loudon, New Hampshire just a couple of weeks ago, Junior was very critical of Michael for not playing more of a teammate. He felt like he blocked him when he came out of the pits one time and impeded his progress, and he was very hot. It looks like they
We'll see what it comes down to when it comes down to the victory, because everybody wants to win.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads at Talladega. 87 laps on the board, and Jimmy Johnson continues to lead, followed by Casey Mears and Jeff Gordon.
You saw that slow car down between 1 and 2. That was Ricky Craven, who had just made a pit stop, trying to get back up to speed.
Unfortunately, he's not going to have anybody to get up to speed with.
No.
And the rest of the field looking at pit stops not far from that.
Boy, this is going to be real interesting if this thing stays green and these guys making pit stops, because getting on pit lane is going to be really exciting.
And again, they talked about this morning, they have to do it in single file.
Got to be in single file. You can't go down there into the pits side by side.
And you talked about it, Wally. If these teams are planning on changing 2 tires, they can't slide those front tires. If they do, that means they've got to change them, because they'll be flat spotted.
Right.
If it stays under green, you'd have to expect most of these guys will just change right side tires, wouldn't you think?
I would think so.
Definitely.
Because the gas tank, as I said, only holds 14 gallons, so it's not going to take 13 or 14 seconds to fill it up with fuel. They can do it in about 10, 11 seconds, about what time it takes to change the right side tires or left side
Plus,
tires.
you also eliminate the possibility of mistakes, potential for mistakes on the left side.
Well, they're all over the place, but there again, that's
Talladega right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, check with us in 2 laps.
Yep. Although Ryan Newman has been deep in the field, but Harvick, very surprising, because he was up with that front pack just like a lap or 2 ago.
He may be getting smart and getting in position to make his pit stop.
There he is. He's made up some ground there. Last time by 15.
Wow.
Martin sliding up there?
I don't know what happened, but Harvick all of a sudden was loose. He was in the middle. He was high and back in the middle again.
It's Carl Edwards in that white car, the 99.
And Mike Wallace in the 09. Remember, he blew the left rear tire and spun up in turn 3. Here he is back on the lead lap and
13th spot.
Yeah, 13th. Depends on when you look.
Now they got to be thinking about it. Let's see. Got to get in position. You got to wave like heck when you're going to pit, and hopefully nobody will run in the back.
And you also have to have your fuel mileage figured correctly, because you don't want to be Jimmy Johnson right about there and run out.
No.
That could cause the big one we always talk about. That could definitely cause that.
Update on the 24 of Jeff Gordon from Dave Burns.
Well, I got a question for Wally. If the 24 likes the high line so much, wouldn't he be running the low line just to put himself into position better to enter pit lane?
I would think so. I would think so. I mean, these guys are getting ready to pit, and you want to be low. You don't want to be on the high side and then have to force your way down in. So I would think that they're just getting ready to come down pit lane.
There's a strong mix of Hendrick cars and DEI cars. Dale Earnhardt Incorporated machines at the front of the field. Jeff Gordon's thoughts on competing against DEI as a member of Hendrick Motorsports.
We've been very strong in the restrictor plate tracks for a number of years. Hendrick Motorsports, Hendrick engines have had that dominance before and know what it feels like. And when somebody it comes in, like DEI has and really takes over the way they have, then you go to work.
And they have done their work.
They have gone to work, yes. Every one of those personnel at Hendrick Motorsports, all 300 of them or whatever.
Dale Earnhardt drives for DEI. An update on the 8 car from Matt.
His cousin and car chief Tony Uris Jr. just told him, get in position. We're going to pit in 2 laps.
And this is when the fun is about to start. Johnson continues to lead in the 48.
Looks like that rear bumper guard is loose on the 8 car. Looks like someone has got in the back of it pretty good. Maybe that's the 41 car.
That could be.
We saw where the 41 had a dent on the front bumper of his car.
See, now we need to get somebody with a front cam looking forward at him.
A couple laps ago, going into turn 3, Earnhardt Jr. was on the outside of the 40, and I saw him stick his hand out the window with 2 fingers, telling Sterling, who was on the inside, we're coming in at 2 laps.
The 38 on pit road. That's Elliott Sadler in front of Marty Snyder.
Yeah, and he's a 6th place man in the championship. You see the damage on the front grill that we talked about, kind of bent in a little bit. They had talked about 2 tires here, but then they decided to take 4 because a lot of the other teams on pit road are going to take 4 tires as well, because we've run a fuel run. 9 volts on the voltmeter for Elliott Sadler, so that's not getting any better. 4 tires. The chassis is still excellent.
Hey, Marty, check that right front. It looked like he might have been low when he came in. I know he flat spotted it, but I thought maybe it might be low.
We expect some more of the leaders in this time. Let's see what happens. Marty?
They just flat spotted it, BP, when he came to pit road.
Okay.
Here come the Hendrick teammates, the 48, the blue car of Jimmy Johnson. Behind him, the 24 of Jeff Gordon. You have to be single file.
Nope. They're trying.
97 of Kurt Busch in front of Marty.
Trying for his best ever restrictor plate finish, bettering the 2nd place he had in the 2003 Daytona 500. The chassis has been terrific, just hanging out 4 tires. No changes. Dave?
Good chassis also for Jeff Gordon. No changes on the car. They will take on 4 tires. That piece of tape and plastic holding on the front of the car so far. Matt?
Jimmy Johnson having an awesome day. They're going to make a 4-tire change. The track bar adjustment has already been completed. The car was just a tick on the tight side. Gloves are on, and he's down and away.
Wow, 16.5 for the 48. That's a long time, and these guys are taking 4 tires.
Yeah.
Now, if your partner takes 4, you better take 4.
So he's in the grass. Painting mirrors.
I think you're speeding, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's too bad, because he's had a great run this afternoon. There's the 8 of Earnhardt Jr. heading for his stall. The 29 on the pit road. Dave?
29 car of Kevin Harvick. Last time he came in, he did not overshoot his pit. Again, he lands it correct for the 29 car. He will take on 4 tires. Matt?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. reminded several times, take it easy on entry. Do not flat spot your tires. They were making a 2-tire change. He had to pull out wide, run the 01 and Nemechek.
Wow, surprising. 2 tires.
It's a mad dash off of pit road now, and this will really break up the field. Brendan Gaughan currently scored as the race leader in the 77 car.
know how much this is really going to split them up.
And the 41, Casey Mears, too fast entering.
You're kidding.
There's some visual evidence to support that.
Yes, there is.
Now take a look at this, Wally, exactly what you talked about on the countdown.
Yeah, he got in hot, he locked up the right front, and then he couldn't control the car.
Because he's running too fast.
Going too fast, and he's got the right front flat, it looks like now, because you know what, when you lock up the right front tire coming in the pit, you're only going maybe 140, 150, but it's going to go flat. Unfortunately, that is going to cost him.
That's Brendan Gaughan in the 77, the yellow Kodak machine, followed by Ryan Newman and Tony Stewart. Those drivers have not pitted yet, but they're thinking about coming now.
And we see the 41 car going down for his penalty. And folks, it's awfully difficult to go from 190 to 55 miles per hour.
Marty Snyder on the 20.
Wow, you should see some of these guys come on pit road. Tony Stewart and all the guys at the back of the guys. He slid through his pits. They got to push the car back. Won't cost them too much, though. The car has been pretty good for Tony. Just a little bit tight. They're going to go half round up on the track bar. 2 tires, Matt.
And Ryan Newman's also in. They're going to pull a tearaway off that windshield to help visibility. No adjustments on the 12 car. They pack it full of fuel, and he will go with right side tires only.
Bobby Labonte behind the 12, coming off of pit road.
It seems like that all the cars, about half of them changed 4 and about half changed 2.
But the guys that changed 4
Yep.
are right there with the guys that changed 2.
Because it takes a lot longer than you'd think, I believe, Benny, to get that fuel in there. You're not really waiting that much longer on the 4 tires. How about it, Matt?
Tony Erie Jr. told me the reason why he in the 15 took 2 tires this stop, they wanted to see exactly what it would do. They know they're getting great tire wear, but they want to see what it will do to the race car in case they have to do that at the end of the race.
All these cars, 8, 97, 22, 33, 6, all those cars changed 2 tires. Now the first car that changed 4, I'm not sure.
Well, they're right behind him, coming fast.
Yeah. Maybe Michael Walter back there somewhere.
Caution, objects in your rearview mirror may be faster than they appear. 77 of Brendan Gaughan, pass-through penalty, too fast entering pit road. That's a rookie error that he will pay for.
That is a rookie error. Casey Mears is not a rookie this year, but a fairly young driver. He learned a very valuable lesson there. How much difficult it is to slow down from 190 to 55 miles per hour.
99 laps complete at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to lead, followed by Kurt Busch. He has 4 wins at this track, trying to get number 5. His dad had 10 at Talladega.
His way back to the front.
And again, that's a DEI car.
I think Jeff Gordon's going to have to get either Robbie Gordon or the 97 car Kurt Busch hooked up with him. They're going to team up on Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip on DEI cars right now.
Jimmy Johnson currently running in the 19th position, or at least scored 19th last time by. And this is what everybody in the garage did not want to see. The 8 and the 15 nose to tail.
You've got it.
24 is kind of stranded. He's got no teammates around him right now.
Got to separate those guys.
Dave Burns.
Hey, Wally, did you notice that the 24 was singing a different tune this weekend, as in engine note? It was a lower rumbling sound that we've heard of him before. Would you like a detailed description of that exhaust system?
I would.
Yeah, so would I. I asked Robbie Loomis about it, and he said, you know what? We tried something at Daytona that really worked, gave us more horsepower. We've been trying to keep the blankets over it ever since.
Wow, look at here.
Here we go.
Ow! That's a bump draft. A good one.
Oh, kid.
Look how much it shoved the 15 car that we're riding on board with in front of the 24 when Jeff Gordon ran in the back of him.
Now these drivers are starting to think about who they run good with, and they're going to get with their spotters and say, all right, see if so-and-so will run with me, or see if so-and-so will stay with me. Now is when you got to start lining up your help and hopefully stick with each other to the end of the race.
Key word there, hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
You can have a lot of friends till about lap 187.
They say, gentlemen, start your engines, but they're not involved in this race right now.
For more on the 8 car, down to Matt.
4 times the DEI pair of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Michael Waltrip have finished 1-2. Under the last caution, Dale Jr. very happy with his car and joking around with his team.
All right. Keep me posted on laps. I mean, I got to get going here. I mean, got to get serious. Well, let me fall asleep here as the end of the race go by. Hello, hello. 60 laps to go.
That is funny.
Look at Jeff Gordon tucked up right behind.
Right there.
Michael will run right in the middle in the course. And just depends on the front straightaway.
There he goes. There goes Gordon. Like I said, he's got Jeff Burton maybe with him, and
I'll tell you what, that was a strong move.
It sure was. And I bet he thought somebody was going to go with him, and they did not.
look at Earnhardt waving out the window saying, stay with me, guys. And I am shocked that nobody's gone with the 24. And there goes
Kurt Busch.
Wow, big move down the inside of Jeff Gordon.
Man, did he get a run on that 24 or what?
Now we got 2 teammates working together up there. 30 car Jeff Burton and Robbie Gordon. 31 car. Well, so much for that.
And here comes Kurt again.
Wow,
Kurt
drive in
strong.
between the 30-31.
And he had to check up not to run the 30 over. 97 car's going.
Burton got the lead. It'll be 3 wide as they head into 1.
Uh-oh, Kurt Busch could be in trouble now because he's got 2 cars hooked up beside of him in the middle and 2 on the outside. He has no help. There's a 17 car.
Wow, the 17 did not go with his teammate.
Jeff Burton leads. Matt.
The 29 team has won races, the 31 has won races, but this 30 team has never won a Nextel Cup Series race. Their best finished second in New Hampshire back in 2002. Jeff Burton behind the wheel has 4 top 10 finishes in his last 7 Talladega starts. This race car has been excellent all day. They have not made 1 air pressure adjustment. Marty, not even a wedge adjustment.
Yeah, meanwhile, his old teammate Matt Kenseth is making a terrific recovery. Remember, we showed you him earlier in the race, not able to catch the front pack. The car had a couple of struggles with. The car's been tight for most of the day. But look at him. He's up there in the 3rd position, pushing Junior to the front. He told me this weekend, this is the best speedway car we've ever built. I just hope we can see that on Sunday. Looks like we're going to see it right now.
Jeff Burton in that 30 car, 104 races since his last victory at
Lots of
Phoenix.
contact between
Yeah,
the 17 and the 8 car. Matt Kenseth trying to push Earnhardt Jr. up past Jeff Burton. He's going to squeeze up in front of Jeff Gordon. Good stuff.
And to follow up on that report on the 17, Matt's crew chief is Robbie Reiser. Spoke with him in the garage this morning. Robbie actually used the term excited about their chances today.
Hey, they qualify in the top 10s.
And they're usually excited if they qualify in the top 30.
Exactly. They were 7th.
Is that Brendan Gaughan down there? Taking a look on the inside.
He has fought back from a speeding penalty as well.
Right there in the yellow 77 car. Brendan Gaughan running for the 3rd spot right now. And here comes 3 wide.
Yep.
Man, more of it.
Now Kurt Busch, the 97, trying to work his way back to the front.
And you can look like a hero going in a 1 and a 0 going in 1 lap.
On board with Robbie Gordon.
He's in the middle as Kevin Harvick goes by on the outside. On the inside was Kurt Busch.
Oh.
Boy, a battle at the front of the field. 46 laps to go at Talladega. Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt Jr. battling up front. 18 to go. Again, those names in yellow and black at the top of your screen are the 10 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Tony Stewart, who was invisible for about the first 125 laps, now 6th.
Now we've got Harvick, Jeff Burton, Robbie Gordon, all 3 teammates down working the low line. Now, if these guys will just stay in line, they may be able to run them back up the front.
And they've got some help. They got several cars that have gone down and joined them, trying to get that low line going. After all, this is the shortest way around the racetrack.
But when they straggle like that, that's not going to help. They've got to stay in line.
When we talk about the anxieties drivers have here at Talladega, well, right now that anxiety transferred to pit road, especially to the gas man, who will have to fuel these cars when they pit. Marty.
Bill, how about the run for Tony Stewart? Remember, he hung out the back for most of the early part of the race. He's had a transmission problem for the entire day, but when it was time to go, he's been able to go. The 20 car moving to the front, Tony being very patient, showing his savvy at restrictor plate racing. Currently, he's got himself in the top 10 with a shot for a win.
See the speed, 193, 194, 195. Did you see 195? No, just 194 top speed. Dave, how about the 6 car?
Just talked to Pat Trice, the crew chief. He said, I could go further than some of these guys, but I can't afford to miss a bunch of them coming on pit road for drafting partners. So I said, what lap? He said, whenever they all come.
That bottom line is starting to work towards the front.
I think you're right, Wally.
But they just, like I said, they can't straggle. They got to stay tight.
There are some strong cars in that inside lane. Obviously, the 8 and the 15 have been good all day.
Every corner, they move up 1 spot, just about.
There you go.
70 feet to the inside. All 3 of them lined up together.
That's Joey Meyer.
Yep. Sorry, DP.
2 by 2 behind you.
Matt Kenseth in the 17 behind Michael Waltrip.
Now they got that bottom line working.
You've been watching those Childress cars, Wally.
Yeah, like I said, when they got...
bottom lines are moving. Here they are.
Here they come.
When they got 1, 2, 3.
Inside.
Harvick on the 29. 30 car Jeff Burton, 31 Robbie Gordon. Those guys are teammates, and they're going to stay. Hopefully, if they stay with each other, they're going to go to the front. Then you've got Mark Martin in the 6 and Jeff Gordon in the 24. 2 guys to have, good guys to have behind
Yes, sir. In stout cars.
So there you go. They caught the front, and now they're going by.
Harvick on the inside of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Marty.
The red colors trying to go to the front. Bill, Kurt Busch in the back trying to get his way to the front. When he came here in April, he was 2nd in points, only 5 points out of the lead. Today, he comes in 2nd in points, only 1 point out of the lead. Here in April, he lost 120 points after finishing 36. He remembers that race. He told me this morning some of that decision-making may come into play here late in this race, whether he's aggressive or whether he's conservative.
Harvick led the last lap.
97 was one of those cars in that big wreck last time. And there you go. The teammates are working well together, and now they got to keep their heads. You know, there's still a lot of laps to go. All those guys in the inside just need to stay there and ride. Don't make it 3 abreast just yet.
And Kevin Harvick has to resist the temptation to move up in front of Junior. Almost got too far out there.
He's pretty far out there right now.
15 pushing the 8. Dave Burns.
Harvick will also need to pit for fuel. Look for him in 2 to 3 laps. He may have to lead the pack they've been talking about, Bill.
Michael Waltrip to the middle. And Junior closes
Waltrip went to the middle. Earnhardt just went to the top.
In 97, Kurt Busch went by the 17 car, Matt Kenseth, and now Kenseth has fallen back to about the 10th position. Remember, he was running 3rd behind Michael Waltrip.
Dale Jarrett now up in that pack behind the 6 of Mark Martin.
Yep, this is about the time you see
Yes,
Dale
sir.
Jarrett work his way back up front.
Former champion, former winner here.
And Junior goes back in front.
But look at those Childress cars bunched back up.
I think the 30 car is having a hard time staying with the 29 car. Robbie Gordon is doing everything he can to bump the back of Jeff Burton up to the 29, but it seems like Burton's having trouble hanging with the 29 with Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick had 4 top 10s in the 4 plate races a year ago.
Tony Stewart, the 20 car on the outside of Matt Kenseth, has some drafting help.
Michael Waltrip championship, hasn't won in a year. He has talked about what's more important here, getting back to victory lane or helping Earnhardt Jr. race for the championship. We're about to find out. He has been a loyal partner throughout the race. 12 to go.
I think the pit stop's going to be real important because Waltrip knows the only way he can pull this off, I think, is to get out in front of Earnhardt Jr. after the pit.
Give it to Michael. He said, get to the bottom.
Yep. There they go.
Michael's on the bottom. Michael's on the bottom. We'll come this time, right, Tony Jr.? Coming this time. Good job there, Philly.
That was Steve Mill, the spotter, telling me Michael's behind you. You can make your pit stop. You can't come to the pits.
Hey, these guys are waving like crazy now, telling the cars behind them. They're coming in.
You see Stewart and those guys on the outside, they can't come to the pits.
Wave them off here.
It's going to be a mess. You've got to be single file when you get on pit road. If you are not, NASCAR warned the drivers this morning, you could be penalized.
And don't lock up your tires, because if you're only getting fuel, ooh, Martin's not going to make it. We got trouble.
Caution on the track. And Bobby Labonte.
And what happened was Mark Martin was trying to get in the pit lane, and he was slowed down in the racetrack, and I think these guys went to avoid him.
Marty, they're going to get the splash of gas anyway for Kurt Busch. 3 seconds of fuel was all he needed. He's already gone.
What a huge break for these guys, because they had committed to pit road. Matt.
And the 8's on pit road. Steve Meal told them to go to the pit stop. They're going to go ahead and go away from their gas-only stop. They're going to go right side tires for Junior.
And the 15 car beat him out, so it's going to be real interesting to see what happens.
And so did several others.
Yeah, they must be about 15th to 20th now. No, about 10th, I guess, of the cars that made their pit stop.
10 to go, and this will be very interesting when we get this sorted out. Here's what happened.
Hey, watch. All these guys get jammed up, and you see Mark Martin sliding. Actually, it was Robbie Gordon. But all these guys some of them are trying to make pit road, and they couldn't make it. Sterling Marlin turned right to avoid a couple of cars in front of him and turned right in front of Bobby Labonte.
Dave, more on the 40.
The irony, Bill, is that they were on a don't-stop pit strategy, and I believe they could have made it. Sterling topped off late in the going, and they were able to save fuel by running in the back of the pack. They had never planned on having to come down pit road.
That is a tough break.
Well, we knew it was going to get interesting.
And the reason those guys couldn't get their way onto pit road is because they were trapped in that outside lane, and we heard how Michael and Dale Jr. worked early to get to the inside so you could get to pit road, and it did become a mess.
Well, that's right. When you got, as I said, going in turn 3, when those cars were 3 wide, they had to get to the bottom to get down to pit road.
Bobby Labonte climbing out of his car. It has been a frustrating season for that team, and a frustrating day here at Talladega. One more look. You got guys going really fast, and guys going really slow.
There's a 6 car. You're right. Mark is the guy that was trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack.
Yes.
Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin on board with Rusty Wallace.
Hammer down. Keep going. Keep going. We'll come in on 180.
Whoa!
If I make it through this, I'm coming on 180.
Back.
Now you see the huge problem that Rusty Wallace and all those Mark Martin, all those other cars have. Now they've got to stop and restart behind all these cars that made their pit
Or
stop.
can they make it to the finish because of these caution laps and maybe not have to stop?
No.
Somebody will try it.
Well, who do we have anybody that topped off really late that's in that bunch? We know Sterling Marlin did, but we don't know of anybody else.
There were a handful of them that did. The 38.
Yeah, but the 38's and 13th. We need somebody that's going to be, although he'll be up front if those guys stop.
Right.
So we'll see.
Because there are under 10 laps to go, no lucky dog in this situation. Tony Stewart is currently scored as the race leader, followed by Matt Kenseth, Jamie McMurray, Casey Kane, and Scott Wimmer. Brendan Gaughan, Ward Burton, Rusty Wallace, Greg Biffle, and Mark Martin round out the top 10. 179 laps are complete of the scheduled 188. And remember, as opposed to what happened here in the spring race, we can go green, white checkers at the end.
I take it pit road is closed.
Pit road is closed, so the cars will stay out on the track. Tony Stewart scored as the leader. We'll take a break from Talladega. Brendan Gaughan, a rookie driving that Penske entry, Penske Jasper machine.
I believe Harvick and Busch are going to want to dispose of these guys as quick as possible.
Can the 77 of Gaughan and the 5 of Terry Labonte make it without stopping?
Everybody's running.
Kevin Harvick took fuel only. Will that be enough? Will 2 tires help you?
Who's that? Is that Jeff Burton?
Ricky Rudd.
Ricky Rudd may be making a trip to pit lane.
Passing on the left, possibly before the start-finish line. He made it back. No penalty for the 21 of Rudd.
Okay, if you give it back, you won't get penalized. So he saw what he did, and he backed off the throttle and did not take the spot.
Brendan, go ahead, Benny.
Kurt Busch, that 97 car, he has been fast all day. If he could get hooked up with a 31 or 29, he might have something.
But I'm not sure I'm letting him in line.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Oh!
Well, here comes the 8 car shot out of the barrel.
On board with Dale Earnhardt Jr., 5 to go.
You see how good this car is now, BP?
I'm telling you, he's not going to be bored now. That's for sure. He's going to try to shoot the middle. Man.
Falls in line behind Rudd. Gaughan, the rookie. And now it's Harvick looking for the lead on the outside as they head for 1.
And he has help.
Yep, Kurt Busch back up the middle.
That's the 31 of Robbie Gordon, Harvick's teammate, pushing him to the lead, followed by former champion Dale Jarrett. Dave on the 29.
Kevin Harvick looking for friends. He's got the teammate Robbie Gordon behind him. Talked to the crew chief Todd Berrier this morning. He said, I know that if the 31 is with us, he can help us as long as he wants to. We'll see how long he stays there.
Whoa. Wow. Nice move. Tony Stewart down to the bottom. Good move.
Have to stay above that yellow line to pass.
But Tony Stewart got in the corner, couldn't make the corner. Kurt Busch now tries to come back underneath on the inside. Matt.
He just told Mike Dillon, his spotter, BP, I could have passed him right there. Dillon says, I know, just be patient as Junior's trying to make his way to the front.
These guys have got to stay lined up in front of Junior. Well, I don't even know if that's going to help.
3 to go. Junior in 4th, behind Harvick, Gordon, and Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, here comes Junior. He's got help.
Who's he got help from?
Ricky Rudd.
Ricky Rudd, okay.
They squeeze to the high side. Now Harvick back down low. Gordon trying to stay on his bumper. Junior pushed by the 21 to second. Now looks high on the 29 of Harvick.
Man, look at this 8-car go. Oh, someone in the wall up there.
With you. Keep coming.
The fans on their feet. Junior around the outside.
Harvick's not giving it up yet. Needs some help down there. Wow, Robbie Gordon to the outside of Ricky Rudd. Well, there's not too
Tony
much room up there.
Stewart, where did he come from? He's right behind Junior.
And Junior let that one 2 to go.
Somebody's smoking back there.
Well, someone got in the wall up in 3 and 4 just a moment ago.
Left front tire, Robbie Gordon. Got a left front tire.
There's a smoker behind him, too.
Yes, there's 2 cars smoking that's made contact.
Marty on the 20.
Tony Stewart said earlier this week, somehow Dale Earnhardt Jr. and I always find each other on the racetrack. They found each other again. Remember, Tony said his car pushes better than it pulls. I think he'll ride right where he is.
Remember the Daytona 500. Stewart was Earnhardt's new best friend.
I think Tony wants to win this thing just as bad as anybody else, though.
Coming through the tri-oval, they will get the white flag this time.
There he goes. Tony Stewart, take a look at the bottom. He's got no help.
And he lost his spot. White flag is out. Last lap at Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. pushed by the car his father used to drive, the 29 of Kevin Harvick. And the veteran Dale Jarrett behind him.
Harvick did all his work earlier on the bottom, Junior.
Oh,
trouble.
Jeff Gordon.
And there's the crowd.
Greg Biffle. Casey Kane.
Several cars involved.
But the caution's
Race
No,
is
it's
over.
still green. It's still green.
Okay.
They're still racing at Talladega.
Last lap.
They will come to the checkers this time by.
So there will not be a green-white checker. The white flag is in the air.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. looking for his 5th win at Talladega. Works his way back to the front. And Junior, where his father won 10 times.
Oh, we got a car sideways in try
number 5, the checker is out, and somebody upside down. Elliott Sadler
again
lands on his
You all right?
wheels.
You in good shape right there. You all right?
Sadler, who had that terrible tumble here a year ago, on his roof at the finish.
Well, if they left this race 10 minutes early, they missed it.
And these rescue workers, I hope these guys are paying attention. We have rescue workers on the backstretch attending to the red cars there.
Yep, everybody shut her down pretty slow.
Biffle is back there. Unofficially, Earnhardt Jr., Harvick, Jarrett, Brendan Gaughan, and Kurt Busch. Tony Stewart, Mears, Nemechek, Gordon, and Ward Burton.
He's opening a roof hatch. He's opening up the roof hatch.
You see the roof hatch open on Elliott Sadler's car. He did this a little while back, didn't he?
Yeah.
About a year ago in this race.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to finish this race with all 4 tires on the ground. He did. But he just didn't keep them there the whole time.
Almost.
There is Elliott Sadler.
All right, he's all right, guys. He's out.
That'll make the highlight reel.
Yep. Okay, down to pit road, Matt.
We've got the Uries, we got Slugger Labby and car chief Tony Urie Jr. He came on the radio and asked where he was, and you guys told him he could still do it, restarting as deep as he was.
Yeah, he started 10th and he went there in 4 laps, and it was awesome. And I just told him, I said, you know, you got to pump yourself up, but you done it when the race started, so let's do it again. Kind of gambled there putting the tires on, but I think it paid off, and man, it's great, great.
Their 5th Talladega win.
His dad won here 10 times. No other driver had more than 4 wins here until today. Now Dale Earnhardt Jr. has 5 and continues his quest in the chase for the next Nextel Cup.
And that helped a lot.
Unofficially, he will be the leader, 26 points in front of Kurt Busch. Now let's go back and recap the closing lap of this race. First of all, the wreck at the start-finish line.
We'll take a look here, and Elliott Sadler down on the bottom.
On the right-hand
Somebody
side.
blocked him.
That's Ward Burton
Ward
there.
Burton.
Those guys just all squeezed down.
Yep.
He got hit in the right front fender, turned his car inside the racetrack, and the worst thing you want to do with a race car, get on the grass.
The roof flaps deploy, but not enough to keep that 38 on the ground, and Elliott Sadler makes the Talladega tumble.
At least it didn't tumble
Right.
like it did last
He's
year.
getting better at this.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he puts on the brakes once it gets in the air, right? But it doesn't help.
Wow.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. scores a victory at Talladega. So many drivers. Junior, so many drivers came in here just wanting to survive, but you wanted to use this as a stepping stone to the final 7 races, and you did so in pretty dominating fashion.
Man, I believe in this, man. That car was awesome. We come down pit road, and the yellow come out, and Tony Jr.'s like, 2 tires, and man, we just smoked them guys that was on them old tires, and car just drove right around them in the corner. Great engine by DEI, Richie Gilmore, everybody back in the motor shop, the fabrication department, the body was awesome. I beat that front bumper all to hell today. It's still there. Budweiser, Remington, all our sponsors. I mean, it's a good win for us, man. It's 5 this year. I just can't believe it.
And that was your goal going in, and you unofficially take over the championship point lead again.
Hell yeah, man. We just want to keep on doing good, man. 1 race at a time. We might just win it.
Unofficial results here from Talladega in the EA Sports 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
A lot of yellow in there, BP. There's a couple guys, Kurt Busch and Tony Stewart.
Those drivers in yellow are the 10 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup.
Well, we got to go back here to find the previous leader of the NASCAR Nextel Cup, Jeff Gordon.
All the way down in 19th. Terry Labonte came home 21st. Elliott Sadler, upside down, still comes home 22nd.
That's spectacular.
Michael Waltrip way back in 25th after a strong run, a disappointing finish. And look down here, 37th. Jimmy Johnson, 38th. Jeremy Mayfield.
And that pretty much takes Mayfield out of the hunt.
I agree with that.
Take a look at the chase for the championship standings. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the new leader.
Boy, Jimmy Johnson, -5. That hurts.
That does hurt.
Jeremy Mayfield now 280 points to go, with 7 races to go.
thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today.